What's good, Fire Gang? Your chief fire starters, LaTeisha and Dr. Barbz, are here with Catch This Fire.
All right, well, what's good? This is the first episode of Catch This Fire, and I'm so excited to finally sit down and talk. This podcast has been in the planning stage for a couple months now, so to finally get to the point of executing it is exciting. So for everyone new here, which is everybody, because this is our first episode, right? This
Right.
podcast is the place where we talk about relationships, period. It's our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with work, our relationship with our colleagues, our relationship with money, our relationship with love, our relationship with our kids, our relationship with any and everything. And so I'm really excited to get started with the convo because a couple of things have been on my mind this week and I really want to talk about it. But before we dive in, I should introduce myself and my bestie so that you kind of know who we are. So I'm Dr. Barbz. And yes, I do have a real PhD in general psychology. And I decided to get that PhD because I was very interested in like how people think and why they do the things that they do and how to attach that to like learning and technology. And so behavior, learning, technology is where I kind of have my expertise. Underneath that, I have an MBA, I have a master's degree in nursing, I have a bachelor's degree in nursing, and have multiple certifications in executive leadership and professional development. So that's a lot, but I do work in the corporate world of healthcare and I have my own business called Wildfire Enterprise. But that's enough about me. Let me introduce you to my bestie. Um, Bestie, just tell them who you are.
Well, come on with the accolades, though. Let's give it up for the accolades, though. Okay, let's do that. So I am LaTeisha Williams. I am a licensed clinical social worker. I also have my own business doing therapy, consultation, product services, that type of thing, and it's called Queen Brand Enterprise. And I have different entities, Queen Brand Healing and Wellness, and some more to come. I am definitely excited to be here today because not only do I know the conversation is going to be fire, but
Yes.
it is such a pleasure to be back on the airwaves with you again.
Yes. Yes. Ma'am, it's been a while and I'm so excited about it because we have a lot to talk about. Y'all, when we just be on the phone talking, it is crazy. We just go back and forth. So we want to share some of that with you guys. And so let's just get into it because no, before I get into it, ma'am, you look beautiful
Thank
today.
you. So do
I love
you. So do
that. Yes. Are those new
you.
glasses?
They are. They are. They are.
Yes. Where'd you get those? Because
I
you know
just
I gotta
got
get
them
some new
from
ones.
America's Best. I use that good
Okay. The
that
2
good
for 1
superior
special
vision.
stuff, yes. Yes. The 2 for $80 or
Yes.
whatever.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am. Yes,
yes.
ma'am. I said I'm
Okay.
maxing it out this time
I'm
because
not hating
normally,
that.
I don't be using it. So I'm like, I'm using every that's the season I am in my life. If someone asks me, hey, do you need help? Absolutely I do. Can I get that
Yes.
for you? Absolutely you can. Any
Please.
benefit that I have, any resource, I am using it to the fullest. I am no longer walking in that, oh, I got it, I got it. I don't. I
Don't.
don't. Although I have and I do, I am not going to wear all of that weight on my shoulders just to say that I can
Yes.
do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm done with
Yeah.
that. So,
Yes.
yes, I use
Yes.
the good superior vision. Yeah.
Yes, yes. It's like the song Erykah Badu, "Bag Lady." Girl, put them bags
Yes.
down. Let somebody else carry it for a little while. It's okay. Okay?
I'm missing my bus. I am missing the things that I'm supposed to be getting to because I'm trying to hold
Yes.
on to too much. I'm letting it go.
Yes. Yes.
Not doing it.
Yes. I love it. So let's just dive in
Let's
because
go.
I got something I want to talk about. So this week, let me tell you what happened. So I
Okay.
was at work, and basically I have a team of people that I lead, and we were in a staff meeting. We call it a work group so it doesn't feel so aggressively like a staff meeting. And I'm sitting there and they're talking about something, some pump or whatever equipment. We don't have a process yet, and we've been trying to figure out what the process is for like a month. And it's just been a conversation that has been going around in circles. So I don't know what look was on my face, but one of my colleagues sent me a text and said, "Are you okay?" And I look at the text and I thought to myself, "Yeah, I'm fine." So I texted her back and said, "Yeah, I'm fine. It's just my natural RBF." And then she responded like, "Oh, me too." And so it kind of made me think because why do we be so, I don't know, worried about the look on somebody's face when they not bothering you? She wasn't talking to nobody. I wasn't talking to nobody. We sitting there listening to these two people have a conversation about a pump and a process. And we wasn't even in the midst of that conversation, but yet she had such a problem with my facial expressions. And I could tell you what my face tells everything, but it is what it is. And so fast forward throughout the week. So this happened like on Monday or Tuesday, girl. So throughout the week, for the rest of the week, I became so fascinated with everybody's facial expressions. Every meeting I went to, I'm just looking around. I'm counting people. I'm looking at their faces. Everybody had RBF. And I'm like, am I supposed to just be laughing and smiling while I'm thinking or while I'm reading a text or while I'm listening? I should just be like the whole time? Like, how psychotic is that? And
Right.
so,
Because then we got a different text. What is
yeah,
wrong? Like,
like, why
why do
are you
you
doing
look
that?
like that? Yes.
Yes, yes. And so I'm sitting there counting all the people in the room and looking at their faces and people looking down in their phones. I'm not seeing anybody smiling. I'm seeing frowns. And I am now convinced that your RBF is really just your natural face, and the way that it rests. So why do we care so much about somebody who's not participating in a conversation, whether or not they are smiling or like, I don't get it. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
First of all, it is however you want to make a face. You can make whatever face you want to because um a lot of times everything comes on your face, right? Like, one
Mhm.
of the things that we kind of learned was, try to have like a poker face a little bit. Like you don't want every time you hear some like you know, crazy information or a client tells you something, you want to be like, like it's so shocking. But at the same time, it's human nature, right? When somebody tells you
Mhm.
something or you hear something that's a mess, you like, whatever. Like you can't help but to have it on your face. The biggest thing
Mhm.
though that people need to do is to mind their own damn business, right?
Yes.
Because even with her texting you and asking you that, what was she gonna do if you said, "Hell no, I'm having the worst day ever. I don't like nothing they talking about," and blah blah blah? Then what?
Mhm.
Again,
Right.
it's minding your own business because, like you said, none of what they were talking about had to probably do with any of you guys anyway, right? It was just probably one of
Mhm.
those big team meetings where everybody has to say what's going on in their department, and probably could have been an email, honestly. You know what I'm saying? So
It really could have. Yeah.
I what my face is saying is it's a waste of time. So it's better that it's a blank face than what I
Yeah.
actually could display on my face that I'm actually thinking. And then too, I feel like it's also their own insecurities. People are a lot worried about what everybody else is doing because they're not comfortable with themselves. They're not comfortable in their own
Mm.
skin, which is why she also said, "Oh, me too. Don't ride my
Mhm.
coattail. Don't try to ride my wave with me because I'm telling you how I'm really feeling is, oh, this is
Mhm.
I'm cool. I'm chilling. There's no reason for me to even react to any of this. So no,
Oh my
I don't
god.
have anything on my face."
And the crazy thing is, every meeting I've ever been to with this particular colleague, she always looks like she's frowning. And she's one of the ones that everyone has something to say about as far as, her body language or whatever. And so it just kind of strikes me as weird to text me that and make it seem as if I was exuding some sort of aura that was like negative or something when I'm literally minding my business and reading something in my phone that had nothing to do with work, let me tell
That's
you.
that radiance, honey. That's that radiance.
And so like, okay, so listen, so let's do so I have a segment called Fire Drill
Okay.
where we think of different responses to certain situations. So, kind of like, if I was in a simulation, like, how would I drill this out? What would be the response? And so, I want to think of maybe the most unhinged, the way that I would want to actually respond to this person. Like, what would be the best response if I responded exactly the way I wanted to? And
Uh-oh.
so, yes,
We
right?
better
Okay.
watch out.
And so just to recap, so I'm in a meeting, let's say there's 40 people in here, we're concentrating on, let's say, a presentation or some sort of um dialogue, there's something going on, a coworker sitting directly across from you texts you. You look like, "What's going on? Are you okay? Is everything okay?" And you look up and they're smiling at you waiting for your response. How do you respond? So
Girl,
here's
leave me
how
the
I would
hell alone.
respond.
I'm
That's what
sorry,
you gonna
was I
take
supposed
back?
to say it? I'm supposed to be waiting for you to say it. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's so funny. So, okay. No, no, you see, so she texts you that and she's looking up at you, waiting for you to respond, and you text back, "Girl, leave me the hell alone."
Girl, leave me alone. Or my one of my favorite things to do, honestly, is to put like some type of gift in there. So it would have probably been the one where Nene is doing girl bye. Like, girl,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
girl,
Yeah.
what do you want? Like, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? What are you concerned about? I have not shown anything but that I am engaged in something, whether it's the meeting or my phone. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes, yes. Okay, so this is what I had put. I put, um, I'm concentrating, which apparently looks different on my face than performative engagement looks on yours. Watch the presentation instead of watching me.
And see, that was a good read, and it was still very professional, I might add.
That means I didn't do a good job. It should have been.
You can't help it, Dr. Barb. You cannot help
Oh
it.
god.
You cannot help
It was
it.
supposed to come off as like, okay, next time I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better.
It was one of
Uh,
those, like, it was a read, a very good one, but it was still
yeah.
more, poised and very professional, I feel like. I am
Yeah.
concentrating. You need to be paying attention to the presentation. You know what I'm saying? Versus I'm
Yes.
like, girl, leave me alone. Don't
Yes.
quit messaging me. Cause you
Mind
clearly ain't
you,
paying attention.
if this person reports to me, I don't think I think I left that part out.
Yes, you
So
did.
I'm your boss. Like, why are you texting me? Are you okay? Are you okay? Pay
Are
attention
you
to the goddamn
okay?
presentation.
Because I'm gonna quiz your ass when we get done too, and I need to
Oh
know if
my god.
you heard. You hear me?
Right. Right. Okay.
Sheesh.
So I have a professional one, but you said that one was semi-professional. Here's one. Um, I just said, just concentrating, all good.
That was a nice one.
It didn't feel good though.
That was
Yeah.
a nice one. That was still it was still a slight read. It was still, hey, don't worry about me, but it was very polite. Very polite.
Mm, I don't know if I like being polite all the time. And then I put like, so afterward, I could maybe just catch her and be like, "Hey, I just want to follow up with you on your text from the meeting. I appreciate you checking in, but I want to be transparent. Getting a message about how my face looks while I'm trying to focus actually made me feel self conscious and pulled me out of the presentation. So, I know that it wasn't your intent, but if you're ever overly worried about me, I'd love for us to connect after the meeting so we can actually talk. Does that sound good?"
See, that's professional looking. I don't know why it's after the meeting. Like, now what you texting me for? What is it? I know we was about, again though, I am coming from a non, supervisory managerial role either. You are like this person reports to you, so
Yeah.
that's a very good. Again, it's still a read though because hey, the next time you got a problem where you feel like you need to ask what's wrong with my face, do that at another time. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
it's still, like you said, it's still inappropriate at the time because I could just be simply have read an email that I didn't like. I could just be sitting
Mhm.
here like what I'm probably thinking is again, this could be an email. You know what I mean? And see, you're an observant person to even look around and see what everybody else is doing also. And when you do that, it's been times where I've seen because again, I'm not in the managerial role. So when I'm in team meetings like that, I'm looking at my colleagues, they making faces and I'm like, that was a BS what? You know what I'm saying? Or I think
Yes.
that I'm thinking the same thing or whatever like that versus like what's wrong because if I'm
Yeah.
engaged in the meeting or I'm just halfway paying attention, I know exactly why most people are looking like that.
Yeah.
We're all thinking it could have been an email. We're all thinking here goes Susie again with the same dang on complaint from last week. Or we're thinking like how many times are you going to talk about this and not implement it, right? So it's one of those things where we also, again, going back to, like I said at the beginning, minding your own business. And then
Mhm.
also having a little bit, like, don't be self-centered, like everything is about you, or, like, oh, they feel like that because I do, or I'm gonna, and then I also feel like this particular person was like riding the coattail or riding your wave. Oh, me too. I have the same thing. Girl, no, you don't. Because if you did, you would have known exactly what my face was making.
Right. And if
Yeah.
that's true, then why even call me out? Like, why even send me a text like that? Because I have never in my life thought to myself, let me text somebody across the room, like, "Are you okay?" Um, I've never done that, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's, and I hate to even say it, but, I'm the only one of me in the room. And sometimes you just kind of feel like, is that something that is causing these particular reactions and or reasons why you said those things to me is I'm just in the spotlight.
Yes.
Um, yeah, and everything I do, everything I say, every mannerism, every facial expression, all my body language is being so picked apart
Yes.
that I can barely even kind of think sometimes. I'm so focused on, is my face looking okay? Does my body language say what I want it to say? Am I open? Am I closed? Am I happy? Am I sad? What am I giving off right now? I'm so focused on that sometimes that I can't even get the strategy out or the point out so that we can actually do the thing that we need to do.
Right.
Which is crazy.
Right. It's definitely stressful, and it definitely is one of those things where it's another weight that you have to carry, because
Hmm.
doing the wrong thing, saying the wrong thing, like doing it, clearing your throat, they might think you're trying to be
Hmm.
funny. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
At the same time, though, you have definitely made it this far and gone up the ladder like you have for a reason, right? So even though I know, again, we kind of have to do it in a sense, but it's relax, right? Because again, that report to you.
Hmm.
If they got a
They
issue
do.
with it, like you said, find me after the meeting and we can discuss this. But right now,
Yes.
I'm going to come and present myself the way that I am. And again, they hired you because of that, right? We get kind of wrapped up in thinking that we have to like present a certain way or do something a certain way, but they hired you because of who you are. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. But I will say this. I feel like I get called out on my body language and facial expressions more than anything else. Um, and a lot of times I'm just like, wait, what? I wasn't making a face for a reason, or I wasn't even aware that I was, like, what was I doing that made you feel some type of way? And so, as a woman, maybe, or maybe it's a person of color, like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like the majority of the feedback I receive has nothing to do with my performance, has nothing to do with the actual product that we've created or the process that we've implemented. It has nothing, I never get like, hey, Barbara, really good job on that thing. Or it's always, hey, someone said that your face, or someone said you had closed body language at that meeting. And it's usually when I actually stood up and made a good point and I was right. That's when everyone has a problem,
Yes,
like she rolls her hands like, "Hey, I don't think that's a good idea. What about this?" And it's like, "Yeah, that's probably a better way to go." And then there's always that one person who is super offended, and that instead of saying they don't like the strategy or whatever, it's she had her body language. It was, and it always is that
yes.
versus anything else.
Yes,
And
because I
then,
can't pick nothing else. I can't say anything about what you just presented because it was great. Even if there was a thing or two that could have been tweaked, it still overall was a good suggestion or a good
mhm,
presentation. You know what I'm saying? So now I have to find some type of way to pick you apart. And that's just really, again, like we talked about just a minute ago, is insecurities what people have within themselves. It has nothing to do with you. Because if that's the case, you gonna get mad at the people walking down the street or in the grocery store or the teller at the freaking bank line. You know what I'm saying? Everybody
mhm.
has their own, like you said, am I supposed to just sit up here with this joker face on all the time? Like with this fake
Yes.
smile all the time? And then you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, she's so plastic. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
I
one of
think
them things, like you can't, they're never satisfied. And
yes.
I do
Yeah.
believe that it's because, like you said, you're a woman. I feel like we are always under the microscope, and it's unfortunate, but it's also I have found more women who scrutinize, pick apart, have something to say, and then
Mhm.
on top of you're a woman of color, right? So it's like a
Mhm.
lot, it's like a double-edged or a multifaceted thing because I'm just showing up. I am just I am just present. But
Yes.
it's I have not done
Yes.
anything to offend you or anything like that. So again,
Yes.
I encourage all of the people that are listening, if you have been the victim of this or the person who has been accused of it, or if you have been the person who says, why does she look like that? Why is she making that face? Why she's not open? Why she's not this? Take a step back because it has nothing to do with you. And 9 times out of 10, you're making this big deal out of something that it's not. That same energy you're using on trying to figure out why this person isn't just sitting there with a joker face, you could be using it to figure out why you don't have one. Why don't you sit why aren't you sitting there with a joker face on? Why are you so
Right.
mad or upset about how someone
Yes.
else is presenting when it's not offensive, it's not rude, it's
Mhm.
not even dangerous, right? It's not any of
Mhm.
those things. So like again, like we gotta do better. We just have to.
Yeah.
Women,
Yeah.
period, I feel like need to do better.
Yes. Agreed. And healthcare is a very female dominated profession until
Yes.
you get to the very, very, very top and you see a lot of men. And so it's a lot of women picking on women. And
Yep.
so it can be very cutthroat and very just difficult, you know. And what I've learned in leadership is that I spend more time just focused on relationships and just body language, tone, pitch, um, because, if we're going to be specific, 93% of your actual communication is your body language and
Yes.
stuff. Only 7% is what you say. So, anyway, okay. So all I said to her was, it's my RBF. It's the way, and she said, me too. And then it was that. But next time I'm going to use one of these and tell her to shut the hell up. So,
Yes, girl, leave me alone. Girl, listen to these people talk.
oh my God. Okay, so let's pivot a little. I want to talk a little bit about relationships, like
Okay.
love relationships. Because I recently started watching this show called Love is Blind. Have you seen this show?
Not a full episode.
Okay.
I have seen previews, and one time I think like something had went off, and then you know how something automatically starts up, and it was that, and so I caught like the beginning of an episode.
Okay. So I don't know why. I think I was bored and I saw it on Netflix. So I clicked on it and I was watching season 9 and somehow I just kind of got into it, and I let it play in the background while I'm doing stuff. So I think I got a couple episodes in, and then it started to kind of get a little juicy, and I was like, "Well, wait, what is going on in here?" So there was this couple, KB, I think her name was Calabria and
Okay.
Edmund,
Okay.
um, and I don't even know where to start, but basically, so the premise is that they get to know each other in the pods where they can't see each other.
Mhm.
And I think that's genius because you get to kind of get to know somebody. Um, and if you ask them the right questions and people are actually honest, then you can actually get to know somebody and whether or not they are very compatible with you before you get to the physical part. And so this particular couple did all that. They seem to be pretty compatible according to the show or whatever. And Edmund proposes to KB. So once you propose to the young lady, then you can meet each other.
Okay.
So so he proposed to her and he was a little kind of different in the pods, like kind of has a little bit of more emotion than you see in most men and I
Okay.
don't have a problem with that. And anyway, so fast forward, he proposes, they meet each other, they seem to have good chemistry, it looked okay. But she tells him, so then they go off to like some paradise area to have like a trip, and they get to kind of mesh and do like more like get to know each other on a physical kind of level.
Like dating.
And yeah, like in
Okay.
person, like now we're together and they're
Okay.
in the same hotel room,
Okay.
like it's just like boom, we're together and we're engaged. You are my fiance.
Okay.
Okay. So one evening, KB and Edmund are in bed And he basically tells her that all the other couples have had sex and they have not.
Okay.
And KB explains to him that I would prefer to wait until we are married, um, because, it's only 30 days away and I just met you yesterday, in the pods. And so I would prefer to wait and just make sure that we are going to be a thing before we have sex. And then she did explain to him that she's had one night stands in the past, but she's not on that right now, and she just wants to get to know him more and just kind of make sure this is right. Okay. Now, the reason I'm bringing it up is because Edmund full blown has a little temper tantrum and starts crying,
What?
crying, crying. And it triggered me. It triggered me because, okay, before I get there, so then I've been watching it kind of on some different socials, and a lot of people are um discussing it, but they are discussing it as if, like, what's wrong with Edmund? Is he just very emotional? Does he have autism? Because he's kind
Uh-huh.
of, you know, he's a little different compared to, societal norms, whatever. But does he have autism? Is he like whatever? I don't really care if he has autism, and I don't really care if he's got emotional issues. Like, I don't care. What
Right.
triggered me is to have some man laying next to me crying because I've chosen not to have sex with him at this time. What the fuck? Right? Like,
What in the hell is going on here?
oh my God.
Because the first thing that it leads to me, and I'll just be completely honest, I haven't always been in the healthiest relationship, so it just
Yeah.
red flag for me, right?
Yes.
Because it seems like it's a form of manipulation. You know what I'm saying? Because like you
Mhm.
said, why are you crying about something like this? If you truly are with me because of my personality and all the things we have in common, this is just the icing on the cake. And like she told him, it's gonna be 30 days.
It's not like I'm asking you to wait a year or two. We
It
talking 30 days from now. We
30
will be
days.
married and on our
Married.
honeymoon, having all the sex.
I
Sir,
don't Yeah, that's a I don't know. Because are you gonna have a temper tantrum about everything that you can't get?
probably.
And then
Probably.
and then that's going to make me, so then again, that's a form of manipulation, right? I'm
Mhm.
gonna not get what I want. I'm gonna act out in some way, shape, or form, and then you're gonna be compelled to change your mind. So did she change her mind? What did she do?
No, she stood on her ground. She stood on
Okay.
her business and was like, "We not having the sex." And she was like, "I've had enough," and ended up saying like, "It's time to go to bed. We going to
Yep.
bed. I'm not going to keep talking to you." But, in full transparency, like, I don't share a lot about my relationships, but I will say that um I've been in a situation or two where somebody was having a little fit about not having the sex, and
Hmm.
I don't know. So for me, this kind of triggered me a little, like, well, wait a second. If I'm expressing to you that I want to wait or I don't want to, for whatever my reason is, I feel like you should respect that and shouldn't try to make me feel guilty, um, or coerce me
Yes.
into doing it anyway because
Yes.
you're having these such large feelings,
Yes.
And as women, we are compelled to be nurturers a lot of the time. And so when someone's behaving that way, you feel bad and you're like, well, maybe I should just go ahead and do it. Or
Yeah.
I don't like that,
No.
And I don't know if anyone's listening who's been married, but sometimes when you're married, I feel like you sacrifice a lot. And one of those things becomes sex because you're
Yes.
thinking, it's my wifely duty to have the sex. And you don't always really want to, or you
No.
don't always feel like it, but you do it anyway because husband wants to. And if you don't, oh my God, what is his reaction going to be?
Yes.
Is he going to be upset? Is he going to be mad? He's going to feel rejected. And now you feeling all these kind of feelings because he's having such a emotional response. And I don't know, that just ain't right to me. I don't think that's okay.
I don't think that it is either, honestly. And then especially when we're talking about already or, being in a marriage in a committed relationship, I would want my partner to ask me, why don't I want to have sex? Right? Is it I'm on my cycle? Am I in a mood? Am I pissed off at you? You know what I'm saying? Versus just,
Mhm.
oh, this is your duty and you're supposed to, because we're grown women, right? We know that if stuff is going how it's supposed to be, you probably don't even have to ask me. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I'm probably gonna want it more than you if the whole thing is going how it should be. So I think that again, it's back to people being selfish, right? Because I want it when I want it, and you need to give it to me because that's your duty as a wife, versus, what's up, babe? What's going on? You don't feel good? What I do, or what can we talk about it? Just act like you're concerned about me a little bit too, not just your needs being met, because I have
Yeah.
them also, right?
Yeah.
What if I've lost interest in being physical with you? What if I don't feel comfortable with it anymore, right? I mean, there could be
Mhm.
like a slew of things. So for someone to just go right into him specifically, a whole crying fit
Yes.
because I'm not having sex with you, I would question what you would it would definitely alarm me. It would for sure alarm me, because what are you going to do in other situations where you don't get your way? And then again, this isn't my only job that I have. This isn't my only duty, because I got a whole lot of other duties that I'm supposed to be fulfilling in this relationship
Mhm.
besides just pleasing you sexually, right? Because
Mhm.
again,
Mhm.
sometimes it be the men that, I mean, the woman is not getting pleased. Like, can you want me to keep on doing this and I'm not getting anything? Nah, bruh, we gonna have to figure something out.
Right.
You know what
Oh
I'm
my
saying?
god.
We gonna have to figure
Oh my
something
god.
out, because I'm just not,
Yeah.
right? But again, that's where I think communication is a big, big issue in a lot of relationships, because and then also being self-centered, if especially when you're in a marriage, which they're supposed to be in the next 30 days from when that aired or whatever, like that's gonna be a horrible type of the communication is gonna be bad, because here I am
Mhm.
telling you why I don't want to do this, and you go into a full tantrum because you're not trying to hear anything I say, because you want what you want at the time.
Right.
You're not even hearing me.
Right. Right.
It's very
Oh, girl.
unhealthy. It's
It's
very
very
unhealthy.
unhealthy. It's
And
very
then it also
unhealthy.
leads to other issues in the relationship, because if I have found personally, when I do things that I don't want to do because I'm the wife or I'm the girlfriend, it leads to resentment.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And that
Mhm.
festers. That just gets more and more and more, versus me telling your ass no. And then I can live with the guilt, because the guilt subsides, right? It'll go away eventually.
Mhm.
You'd be like, I forgot I even, you know what I'm saying? Versus resentment. Oh man, it's growing like a bad weed that you cannot get rid of in that beautiful rose bush that you love so much, right?
Oh, for
It will
sure.
take over. It will take over, and it
Yeah.
gets ugly like that. So I would
Yeah.
encourage her to, if I could talk to her, I would encourage her to like, you need to pay attention to that. That
Oh,
ain't a
she did.
circus,
She
girl.
ended
That's
it.
okay. Good, good,
She ended it, and they did not get married.
good.
Um, she she ended up leaving. He cried at the altar too, girl. And it was kinda sad. I mean, nobody wants that to happen, but you could tell it wasn't a good match, because I don't know, he wasn't ready. I think
Yeah.
the situation was that he wasn't ready to be in a relationship of that magnitude,
Yep.
because if we're gonna be partnered in that way, I need you to be able to hear me, listen to me, and put my needs, um, forefront as well as your
Yes.
own. Like, I'm not saying put yours on the burner, but if I'm telling you that I don't like this or don't like that, or I want this or want that, I need you to consider those things rather than throwing a little tantrum. And I can tell you, like, that little tantrum doesn't end in the bedroom. It then
No.
ends up now it's at the kitchen, and now we in the living room, and now we in the car, and now
We
and
in
you just
public.
say
We over
little things.
family's house. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
3 months later, here you are. Remember that one time you rejected me and you told
You
me,
told me
okay,
no.
okay,
Like,
right?
no, we're not gonna do that. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, it was an interesting show, and so then I started working my way backwards, and so I've been watching, like, season 8, season 7, just been going backwards, and that show is weird. It's
Yeah.
you would think that it would be a good way to meet somebody in these pods and get to know them and get that emotional connection, but then they see each other, and you can't tell if the man was just trying to be famous and got on the show and was just playing and being manipulative in the first place, or I can't tell what the hell is going on in this show because probably only 20% or less actually get married. The rest of them find some reason why they can't see it through. And
Mhm.
so um anyway, I can go on and on about this show. I have become engulfed in it. And there's even a UK um spin-off where it's which is kind of cool. Everybody's has their English accents and you get to kind of see the different, countrysides as they're out and about, but they still playing games on that one too. So,
Another one that I've seen, or I can't remember what platform, but I think it's Love at First Sight,
oh
where they
yes,
get
I've seen that
married.
too. They
It's
get
it
married first.
Yes, they get married
Yes.
first. Yes, yes. And I haven't that's another one I haven't necessarily watched all of. At the same time, I feel like it's the same thing because even on the previews or whatever that comes on, it doesn't seem like there's too many people that actually stay married. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it makes me wonder, or it brings up the question of, is that why arranged marriages last longer than marriages that are not arranged? Because it's like in the arranged marriage, someone else kind of picks the person for you, whether it's the royal families or whatever the case, and or just the culture itself. And then it seems like they end up growing to be together, or growing to build something and growing together, versus it seems like some of these other ones are like, nope, can't do it. Or like you said, the people aren't really trying to make this happen. It's just like, well,
Mhm.
I came on the show because I was bored, or I wanted to be famous,
Mhm.
or I wanted a little check, or whatever the reason, not
Mhm.
necessarily to end in a committed long-term relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it
I
definitely
don't know.
brings up the question.
Well, I think that arranged marriages, when they're built within the culture, I think the culture really shies away from divorce.
Yeah,
And so a
that's
lot of
true.
times I think they kind of stay there and they have to kind of learn to like each other, you know?
But it's also
But
like I've heard some older women say, "Oh, you'll grow to love them, or you'll get to love them," and it's like, really?
but
You
will
know what I'm
I?
saying? Will I? Because I
Will
don't
I?
know about this one.
Yes, I don't
Yeah,
like him. Yes.
yeah, yeah.
And I think now, like in 2025, you can get like divorce isn't difficult to obtain. I mean, it could be expensive depending on the situation, but I was even talking to somebody recently about how, they were trying to explain to me that the divorce rates back in the like 50s and 60s and 70s was so different than it is in 2020. And I'm like, yeah, because grandma didn't have her own credit card and grandma did not have that house was not in her name. Um, grandma did not have her own finances.
No, she
We as
couldn't even get
women
a job. She
couldn't
couldn't
even
even go
work
to
until a
work.
certain
No,
point.
yes,
Right. So now that it's flipped and you got women who are the breadwinners, what's the incentive
yep.
of staying in a marriage when you're unhappy?
And then even look at like daycare. There wasn't really a lot of daycares,
Mhm.
centers, and you know what I'm saying? It might be somebody in the community or in your neighborhood that maybe kept the kids or something, but it wasn't really like, I'm gonna go to work and I'm gonna leave my child with a stranger
Mhm.
majority of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, so then who would have watched the kids? Like, it was just a totally different day and age altogether. Like you said, couldn't get
Yeah.
a credit card, couldn't get a job. I couldn't even have my own bank account. I couldn't even, hell, the man could barely get a home or anything because of all the things back then, redlining, predatory lending, and all these other things. So if he couldn't do it, I really didn't have a chance. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
and they were definitely in survival mode too, which
Oh,
is
for
why
sure.
when our generations came around, it's like, you don't depend on a man, you don't do this, you do this, you do that, because of the way that they had to get through their marriages and relationships, right? And which is why we also find,
Yeah.
like you said, even about marriage, that wasn't divorce. It wasn't easy to get a divorce then. While you have entire groups of kids with one last name because that's the name of the married the mother's married name, but not even the child's biological father's last name. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it's so, again, it's one of those things that are very multifaceted, and I appreciate, my hat definitely goes off to the things that they had to endure at that time. I'm not doing it. So you can bring up all the statistics and all that you want to. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm part
Yes,
of those women. Bet I don't.
yes. Oh my
That's
god, and
okay.
I think you bring up such a interesting point, is that we get a lot of flack about being single women, but I think that our moms and grandmas may have kind of whispered some things in our ears to
Very
help
much
us
so.
be independent single women.
Very much
I don't
so.
say single, but more independent and able to think
Yes.
for ourselves because of the situations that they found themselves in. I've seen some stuff, and I like I could tell you some of the craziest stories of some things I've seen between uh the people. I don't want to blast them out, but some people that
Yes.
I related to, and
Yes.
I don't think that I would want to repeat any of that. I
No,
just
and I
don't.
don't think that they would tell us to either. I don't think that if we had a conversation with any of those women right now, they would say, no, you need to do this and you need to do that. I mean, again,
Mhm.
we both are social scientists, right? When you look at the research shows single women are healthier, they live longer, they're happier. Now I understand why Auntie whoever had Uncle Joe 1 minute and Uncle Sam the next minute and Uncle George the next minute. It all makes sense now. You feel
Oh
me?
my
It
god,
all makes
yes.
sense.
You
Or
know
when
what?
you
Your
see
single auntie was way happier than your married mama.
kicking it. Do you hear
Just
me?
say it.
Kicking it. And then it also makes sense why you do have women that may have, whether it's divorced or widowed, and they end up single in a later stage in life and they choose not to remarry. You know, it's
Mhm.
even
Mhm.
relationships where you see that they are not even living together. And you like, dang, sleeping in separate rooms. So I really feel like, again, my hat goes out to them. I definitely appreciate the marriages that last, the 70 and 60 and 30 years and different things like that. I appreciate the survival that those women had to go through in order to allow me to have the option not to. I want to be healthy. I want to be sane. I want to keep
Yes.
my hair. I want to keep my weight. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
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 I seen something on, I think I was on Threads, and they was like, it was talking about marriage, right? And this girl posted, she was like, all my single friends are having a ball and I'm over here fighting for my life.
Girl. Oh my god. Yes. I like totally relate to that. Listen,
Yes.
and we're not bashing marriages at all. I mean, if you
No.
found that partner, like I would love to find that right partner
Would
that I
love
could grow
to.
old with.
Yes.
But unless he's knocking on my front door. No, I'm just kidding. Because I need to go out more. But anyway,
We'll get to
um
that. That's another episode because that's
yes.
definitely a good point. Seriously,
Mhm. Mhm.
that's another thing we have to discuss too because they not gonna knock on the door.
Yes. Yes. Unless you're knocking on my door, you know where I live. I guess I'll be here with my children and cats. I don't have any cats, but I've been thinking about getting some. But anyway, um, but yeah, no, I'm not knocking marriage at all. I
Not me
think that's
either.
beautiful. And to have that long lasting, loving relationship that lasts all the way until the end of time, I think that's beautiful.
I'm a
But I
lover
ain't gonna sit
girl.
in one and be unhappy though. I know
No,
that.
absolutely not. That's what I'm saying. I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? I've worked
Mhm.
too hard and overcome too much. I have healed too much. I have done so much inner work. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, what kind of example am I setting for the people that come after me? My own children. You know what I'm saying? The women that look up to me or that might see me. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
um, I read recently a book and it talks about legacy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So all of that is it's like it is a selfish thing to an extent, but it's still like, okay, what type of precedent am I setting? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when we were kids, a boy hits you and you like, oh, he just like you. No, that is
Mhm.
freaking abuse. No. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because then when you get older, you're like, oh, he hit me because he loves me, or he was just mad, or whatever the case. And again, it's the precedent that was already set. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Right.
yeah,
And that's even harder when you see some of that in relationships of the adults when you're a kid, but we'll save that for another time because
yes,
that's a whole nother but we could be on here for hours
we
talking. It could
could,
keep
we could, but we're
Yes,
gonna stay on
yes.
target. We're gonna
We're
stay on
gonna move
target.
on.
Yes, yes,
So I do want to have a little bit of fun. Because I know that we are professional women and we can be very serious, but I think we should have a little fun sometimes. I think that, before I get there, one of the biggest misconceptions about us is that we have to remain in these professional kind of vibes all the time. Underneath this PhD, y'all, is a regular ass girl from a regular ass place. And I still talk like this. I don't like to be like, hello, everyone. I am Barbara. I have this PhD. I'm so important. No, I talk like this when I'm relaxed.
right.
And this is where I feel comfortable. And so, yes, I do cuss. I cuss a lot. Um,
Oh my goodness, no.
I cuss a lot. I like to use a variety of curse words. I like to pair them in interesting ways if I have the opportunity. And I love to see people's reactions when I use them in very meaningful and colorful ways. And so we're gonna use them in a meaningful, colorful way today. And I want to go over what I call is our fuck budget. And you
Okay.
Yes. And y'all are like, "Well, what is a fuck budget?" Get your minds out of the gutter. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about today is how many fucks do I give? Because you have to allot for how many fucks to give. So I actually have a budget and I'm going to kind of read this to you a little bit. I went and bought myself a jar of fucks. Yes, as you
Yes,
can
I
see.
have. I actually
Yes.
was gifted one of those from my homegirl when I left my last employment. That's what she gave me, but it's packed up right now. But
Okay.
yes,
No, my nails are not
absolutely.
done. Get over it. But I have a jar of fucks. And I think this is important because we give a lot of fucks about a lot of shit that you should not give a fuck about. And yes, that was
Hello.
a lot of cuss words. Get over it. And so what came with it was this little thing. I'm gonna read a little piece to you because I thought it was super funny. So it
Okay.
says, save your fucks. You're born with a ton of fucks to give. So you spend them like a kid with a credit card. You're young, you have a ton of energy, everything is new and exciting, and everything seems to matter so much. You give fucks about your friends, about your grades, about your fashion sense, about strangers' opinions. You give way too many fucks about way too many things. You have too many, therefore, you give a ton of fucks. Then, as you get older, you're down to maybe 10 fucks per month.
Yep.
And those
Yep.
fucks are pretty damn precious. So you learn to budget them. You allocate fucks to family, hobbies, and career, but there aren't enough fucks to give to the newest fads. Oh, and someone at work has something they need help with outside of your job title. I'll do your best to allocate some fucks, but this month is pretty tight. I bet you would have liked to save some of your fucks from when you were younger, but you can't. It's
Yeah.
not your fault. Fucks expire too quickly. Then at some point you hit fuck insolvency. You're a, you're a fuck faucet and it's running completely dry and you're out of fucks to give. So you're giving like one fuck a year at this point. And so you have to make it last. Anyway, it's super cute.
It is.
And yes, it's a lot of cussing. Y'all get over it. Don't care.
It's very
But
accurate though. It is very
it
accurate.
is.
Yes, because as you
Yes.
begin to live life, you like, I don't give a fuck about none of that.
Yes. It's so funny too because it's like the things that you cared about like in your early 20s at this big age of 40, I don't give a fuck. I
I don't
don't.
care
I don't
at
I
all.
don't I don't care about
And
that.
then you hear people say, "Oh, that's mean," or "You're cruel," or "You're a bitch," or whatever. I'll be like, "Okay, cry me a river," because again, I meant I don't care. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? None of that.
Yes.
No.
Oh my
Yes.
god. Okay. So, what's been happening in your world this week? Cuz let's rate. How many fucks should we give? Do we give 0 fucks, 1 fuck, all the fucks? What do you have? Anything going on this week?
Um, everything that's actually happened this week, I gave a fuck about. There it
Oh
was okay. So okay, let me say this.
my god. My
I don't even
cheeks are
know
hurting.
how. Yes, I don't even know how long I would say, but I am starting to not give the same type of fucks that I gave about my wardrobe and my what I
Okay.
wear. Like I still am presentable. I still like to, but I'm more so um kind of like how the thing said, I don't care about the fads. I don't care about what's in style per se. I give a fuck about how it makes me feel, how it feels on my
Mhm.
skin. You know what I'm saying? Is it
Mhm.
tight? Is it restricting? Is it flowy? So that's one of the things that I have noticed now that I'm like, I don't even give a fuck about that. Like I literally got rid of all of these garments that were supposed to be in fashion or in trend because I don't care about that. Like I
Okay.
wanted to feel good on me and make me feel good about myself. You know what I'm saying? Versus
Yes.
trying to be all stuffy and, because they said to wear this with this. Like, even one of the things
Yeah.
I'm real big when I don't give a fuck about wearing white after Labor Day. Who made that?
Okay.
Who did that? I don't give a fuck
I
about
don't
that.
know who does that, but let me tell you something. I love to wear a white pants,
Yes.
especially down in Florida. I just feel like it's flowy, it's airy. I love wearing white trousers or white pants. So, how many fucks do we give about not wearing white in after Labor Day? Zero fucks. I love
Zero.
that. Zero
Zero.
fucks about wearing white, and I will wear some white shoes if it goes with my outfit. Thank you so
Same.
much. Yes, I remember as a kid, you couldn't wear no white, little white shoes with your little white socks and
Yep.
stuff. You couldn't wear them.
Couldn't wear none of
Well,
that.
I'm kind of the opposite when it comes to wardrobe. Um, Recently, I have been very. I want to dress like I'm powerful
Yeah.
and I'm important. And so when I
Yes.
come to work, I'm like, look at me, I'm important. And so I have to be dressed. I hate to say it, I try to dress better than some of the people. I need to feel good, like I'm powerful, I'm important, I matter. And if I feel like that, then everyone else gets that from me.
Yes.
Um,
You
and so I
exude
give
that.
yes. And
Yes.
so I had someone actually say to me, I get this quite a bit. It's like, oh, you look so nice today. You're so dressed up. You're you always wearing some heels. First of all, if y'all don't know me, I'm short. I'm only like 5 feet tall. And so I don't wear flats unless I have on sneakers or something. And so I always have on some heels. And I'm not talking about a little heel. I have on a heel.
Hmm.
Okay. So I better be having a seat somewhere because we can't wear them heels all damn day like that. But I do give a ton of fucks and I will walk around my feet be hurting and everything because I feel like you have to dress for the position that you are either in or trying to get. And if people
Absolutely.
don't see you as that person, if I work in healthcare, and so, people walking around in scrubs. If I'm wearing scrubs, I don't feel like I stand out as an executive, you
Right.
know? And so I show up with the uncomfortable outfit and the really high heels because I give a ton of fucks. So,
But it might be somewhat physically uncomfortable, right? Because unless you get your clothes tailored, sometimes they don't fit exactly how we would like them to, right? Because
mhm,
they it's like a one size fits all thing, and where all of
mhm,
our bodies are shaped just completely different, right? So sometimes you might have to be that, and that's okay because you feel good. Right? Like
yeah,
you said, I
yeah,
am walking in here because if you look good, you feel good. You know what I'm saying? You
yes,
looking and smelling and feeling like 100 million. You hear
yes.
me? Yes.
Girl, my
And then
presentation is better. The way
yes,
I'm speaking to you is better. I got
yes,
better ideas.
yes, yes,
I'm standing up for myself. I'm like, everybody look at me. Hello, I got something to say.
yes. Versus when you do come in or you go somewhere and you have dressed or you just got on anything, you're not really gonna feel confident. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Right.
why I feel like it's wardrobe is important. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the trends. It's not about, what people say that you should or shouldn't wear, all these little rules and something. It's literally
Mhm.
about how you feel when you put the clothes on. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Does this speak to
Right.
who I am? Am I portraying or giving off what I want people to look at me like? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Go
Yeah.
on, girl, with your
Yeah.
C-suite
Yes.
self.
Yes. Look, clock it. That's what I'm about to do.
Hey.
Yes. Something else that I kind of happened this week was my department, I'm kinda over, like, all of the education in the building, and, sometimes I will get an email from people who are not underneath my span of control, asking me to help them with their education, or this person who's supposed to do education who's not underneath my span of control has a problem with that person over there who's not under my span of control, and they want me to jump in and somehow figure out what they're supposed to be doing. So, long story short, I gave 0 fucks this week, and
Zero.
0. I gave 0. And I responded and I was like, "Well, I'm sure that you guys can talk to each other and work it right on out.
Yep.
I trust you guys to have a conversation." And it's funny because then the one who sent the email then punted it back to me, was like, "We would really like your expertise." And I was like, no, I
But
think
no,
that you guys need to talk to each other." So I gave
y'all do.
0 fucks, and I was so proud of myself for saying no and having some boundaries this week, because I could have easily just dove into that and found myself in that rabbit hole of bullshit,
Yes.
and that would have taken up a lot of my time, and we still probably wouldn't have fixed the problem. So,
No, because
yeah.
it's their problem. You know what I'm saying? That is some stuff they gotta figure out. It has nothing to do with you. And that's why I'm
Yes.
learning too, to give 0 fucks about the things that does not have anything to do with me. Why do I care so
Yes.
much? Why I like you said, why am I involving myself in it? Nope, 0.
0
0.
fucks. 0 for me.
0.
Alright. So we gave a ton of fucks about my wardrobe so I could be powerful. And then
Absolutely.
we gave 0 fucks about everything else, y'all.
Yep, that's
Um,
it.
but you have to be that way, otherwise you give way too much energy to things that don't really, I don't wanna say that they don't matter, but they don't. They don't.
In the grand scheme of things though, they don't matter.
Mhm.
Right? Like ultimately, like you it's like one of those things you gotta ask yourself, is this going to bother me an hour from now, 2 days from now? Is this something that's going to impact my life at all a week from now? If not, then why am I giving it so much of my energy right now? I'm
Right.
literally preventing myself from moving forward with my day for something that is not going to make a hill of beans in the next 25, 48 hours. You know what I'm
It's not.
saying?
Right. Right. Okay. So, we're gonna move on from the fuck budget. We're gonna bring
Okay.
that back next time because I love it so much.
'Cause we only
And
got a few anyway in the jar, so
yes. Yes, at this big age, yes.
you hear
Only have
me?
a few fucks a week. That's it.
That's
That's all
it.
I got for you, if
That's
I have
it.
any. Sometimes I start my week with 0 fucks to
Mhm.
give. So, last week, I don't think I had any. So, it was the last week of the month too, so, it is what it is. Alright, I do want one more thing before we, sign off on this particular podcast. I wanna talk about one more thing, which is, what is the most common myth, not even the most common, what is a myth that you have found, either in life or at work, in love and relationships? What's one common myth that you have come across?
That you're too old.
Mm,
You're too old for that. You're too old to start over. You like even like we tell the kids, stop playing. You too old for that. You know what I'm saying? We tell even when we get to our big ages, you know what I'm saying? You're too old
mhm,
to start over. You're too old to get a new career. You're too old to be, doing this. It's always too old for something. And that right there is a fucking horrible myth because you're never too old, right? I feel like we
yeah,
take the fun out of things because we're too old. You know what I'm saying? We don't we choose to not live and not take risk because we're too old. And then you look up and life is literally gone. Right? You ask yourself, like, how did I get here? Because you thought
yeah,
you were too old, but you're not because you're still living. You still have breath in your body. So that to me is one of those really big myths that I've heard from numerous of people from throughout my life, that you're too old for something and you're not. There's a
yeah,
time and place for everything, yes,
yeah.
but you're not too old.
I agree, and I think a lot of times if you would just get started, 2, 3 years later, you have completed that thing. And so when we tell ourselves that we're too old or whatever the reasons why we can't do something, we limit our abilities and we limit our purpose, we limit um our radiance, because
Yep,
there's so many people who probably would have benefited from you getting that thing done. And
yep,
since you didn't get that thing done, you've pretty much like you've withheld that from the world, and you shouldn't have.
The book also said that you let your fire dim.
Yes, you do. Yes.
Yes.
Well, she keeps referring to a book that I'm currently writing.
It is written, ladies and gentlemen. It is written. I had just had the pleasure of reading it first,
Oh
but it
my
is
gosh.
written. So
Yes.
I definitely, yes, it is, that is dimming your light. When you dim your light, you are letting other people dim theirs. You're dimming that fire, and we need that spark, right? Like, do
Mhm.
it. Like, because like you said, the time is gonna go by anyway. Time is the one thing that we do not get back. We cannot stop. We can't even go back and try to
Mhm.
fix the time that we've spent, right? So that's why it's for sure important. You're not too old. You are not too old. Have fun, live your life, take the risk, date the man, date the woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Try the new job, go to school. You know, freak,
Yes.
start the new career, the new hobby, wherever it is. Like, move, like whatever it is,
Yes.
do it, do it,
Yes. Live your life.
live your
Live
life.
your life. And I will say if it's been put on your heart to do something, you need to follow through.
Yep,
You really do. You're doing yourself a disservice by not following through and giving yourself an excuse like I'm too old.
yep, yep.
Here's my myth for today, and it is that honesty is the best policy. Honesty is not the best policy. Lie to them people. Lie to all the people, y'all. Lie to your colleagues. Lie to your boss. Lie to them people. Listen, work isn't therapy. Work isn't your family.
No.
That's a whole nother myth that they're your family because they are not. Work is a transactional relationship where your honesty can and will be used against you. So here's my story, real quick, because I want to tell you this. I was in a meeting one time, and it was a stressful meeting, and everybody was looking at me. They were waiting for my response and what I was going to say. And it was
Mhm.
just like, and my heart was racing. And a little bit of backstory is that I've been having some kind of a higher heart rate for a while, right? But on this particular day, it was a little bit higher than usual. And so after the meeting, my boss was like, "Okay, that meeting went really well. What do you think?" And I was like, "Yeah, oh," but my heart was really racing. Simple, easy. It's humanistic. It's me being relatable. It's me being just human. No, ma'am. 2 to 3 weeks later, this man came up to me and said, "I think that you benefit from a coach to kinda help you with that thing." I didn't ask you for no help. You
No.
don't know if I my heart rate was just maybe a medical issue or, like, you don't know nothing. You didn't ask me no additional questions, but he used that and now wanted me to possibly have a coach
Yeah.
who would help me with my anxiety. Y'all got a lot of them people. Do not tell people stuff that is unnecessary for your work. And so
Yep.
every piece of information you share becomes data that they can inform decisions about your promotions, your assignments, your reputation, and your job security. They're when they ask you things like "How are you doing?" Um, you don't need to tell them. You lie, lie,
Yep.
lie. I can't tell you how important it is to lie to them people. All of the people lie every day. I know that's why.
Because how do we grow up? Like you said before, how do we grow up? Honesty is the best policy, and make sure
Yes,
you're honest about everything, and yada yada yada. And it's like, well, I don't need you in my business. I don't need you to know that much about me, because what I have found, again, at this big age, is people definitely take what you tell them, they turn it around, they weaponize it, they try to tear you down from it. You might tell them something in confidence, or just like you did, this was just general conversation you were having, like you said, just being a human. And this individual came and turned it around like it was a weakness for you. I didn't say
yes.
that.
I
I
didn't say
didn't
that
say
at
that it
all.
was. You know what I'm
No, you
saying?
didn't.
I
I
just
was like,
told you my
"Woo,
heart was beating. Hell,
yes,
I could have got scared or something. I might have seen a ghost or something before I came in here. You know what I'm saying? So yes,
yes,
I definitely understand exactly what you're saying. And I used to try to be like, oh, I'm an open book and I'll tell you anything and this, and this. I'm private as hell. You hear
Mhm,
me? I am
mhm.
it's people that I trust to give my information to and be brutally, completely honest about what is going on with me. Everything else is just surface level because of that
Oh,
reason.
for sure.
You know,
Yes.
you will get burned and taken advantage of, and it's just not healthy. Shoot.
Yes. So real quick, I have 5 strategies for how to lie to them people. So
Let's
write these
go.
down, y'all.
Let's
The
go.
first one is to be bland and redirect. So basically, you answer personal questions with aggressively boring non answers. So, for example, hey girl, how was your weekend? Good. Caught up on some stuff. How about you? What are you up to tonight? Oh, just the usual, probably relaxing.
Mhm.
Okay. Any fun plans this weekend? Girl, nothing too exciting. How about you? So just aggressively boring and bland, but you answered the question because you can't just not say something. Like you have to come up with something, right?
Yes.
So it works because you're not lying, technically. And you're just being beige. You're just being bland. The second one is the future fake out. And so you never, ever, ever really tell people your actual career plans, job searches, or exit strategies. So even if you're unhappy at work, you cannot tell people that because
No.
you will be like, they'll start coming for you. So here's the lie. I'm really excited about the new initiatives we're rolling out next quarter. Knowing damn well you are actively interviewing somewhere else. It's okay. Just lie to them people. You ain't excited. Lie to them people. Go ahead and tell them you are very excited. You are very excited. Knowing damn well that you're about to put in your 2 weeks
I
tomorrow.
can so relate to that. No, like that's why I'm laughing because that's so true. But go ahead. I love it.
Yes,
I love it.
yes.
Yes.
So your loyalty is to yourself and to your career, not to them people, not to that organization. But you cannot let them know that. They have to feel like you are loyal and going to be there. So that's strategy number 2. Strategy number 3 is the capacity illusion. You never, ever, ever tell somebody you're overwhelmed or unable. So you want to manage the perception of your bandwidth and your struggle. So you could be like dying, but you never, ever say, I'm overwhelmed. Instead, you say, I'm at capacity and need to prioritize. Which of these is most urgent at this time? That way they can help you pick what you need to do first, but you don't tell them you're overwhelmed because then it seems like you can't handle it,
Right.
right?
Right.
Instead of saying, I can't handle this, you could say, to do this very well, I need to shift X or Y. What's the priority?
Mhm.
So it's always getting back to the priorities, but just don't tell people you're struggling. It makes you look incompetent and it makes you look like you can't handle things under pressure.
Yep.
So, especially if you're someone looking for a promotion or to end up in a leadership role, like, can't do that.
Yep.
The fourth one is the opinion shield. And so the opinion shield is when someone's acting or asking, sorry, for your actual opinions about workplace, politics, leadership decisions, and controversial topics. This
I'm not
happens
doing it
all the time.
all
It
the
happens
time.
all the time. And so, like, I have a coworker that asks me about politics all the time, and I have to deflect all the time because what I think about what's happening out there is none of your business,
No.
and they will use that to decide whether or not so
Yes.
I could say things like, "I could see multiple perspectives on this." Well, that's an interesting approach. Oh, I'm still processing that decision. You just gotta deflect it some kind of way, but if you give your actual opinion, especially on workplace politics, when people are kind of pitted against each other, you can't take a side, you can't be in the middle of that, you just can't.
No.
I actually saw where there was a leader who everybody kind of was calling kind of a bully. Um, and then she ended up getting promoted. And can you imagine if you took sides and now she's in charge of some of the things you can't do
Yep.
that.
You can't do that. No.
Mhm, mhm.
Especially with like, I mean, all of it. Like you said, I don't have an opinion or, however you can deflect or just move around it or over it. Because like you said, I mean, just in life in general, like politics, religion, money, relationships, those are no-nos for me. Because
Mhm.
people, I mean, I'm even to the point where I don't even really like to play spades in certain settings because
Yes.
it can be controversial. You know what I'm saying? You reneged. I mean, people be ready to bang over
Yes.
card games. So
Yes.
those topics are very, very, I mean, those topics alone have started wars, right? Those topics
Mhm.
alone have ended in people's lives being taken. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let
Yeah.
alone having it outside of the workplace, but having it inside the workplace, just because you said you like Senator so and so, you know what? From now on, all of your evaluations are going to be less than favorable because I don't like
Yes.
the fact that you don't like who I like. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No,
Right.
not doing
And
it.
especially in 2025 when you have all this politics stuff going on.
Yes.
I actually have a colleague who was saying some things, and while I try to be the most non-judgmental person, I was kind of looking like, "Okay, noted.
Yep.
Got
Yep.
it. I get it now. I know who you are."
Yes.
And so,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
I didn't know that about you before, but now
No,
I
I
do,
didn't.
and I shall move accordingly.
Yep.
Yes. Yes. Okay, here's the last one. It is the personal life firewall. Um, y'all, we be at work sharing a lot of our personal life because you really think these people are your friends.
Yep.
And I do want to say that some of your colleagues will end up being some of your best friends. I do want to give you that because I do know some people that I've left an organization with and we're still really good friends. And I've also seen people like go on girls' trips with each other and like they're having the time of their lives. But you need to be careful because not everybody at your job is your friend. And at the end of the day, what can happen is if something goes down, people pick uh their livelihood over you every time
All
because
day.
they have to go to work. They got families to take care of. I can't
All
be in the
day.
middle of your drama. So
Nope.
so you can't tell people all about your stuff. And so when it comes to personal stuff, people judge you based on the kind of relationships you have outside of work.
Yes.
Um, and let me tell you, sometimes personal life is drama filled. I mean, we're people. I'm just
You
saying,
be
like,
like,
it's
that you
happening.
doing that? You involved with him? She's
Right. No,
she's
wait, no,
doing
no,
that.
listen. It, I'm like, it's me. It's me. I'm the problem. It's not. It's like,
No, seriously. It's be like, and then, because again, they look at you in a different light when you're at work, right? You're in your mode, you're in your
yes,
zone, you doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? They like, if these people only do, it would be like, oh, they be clutching
if
their
you
pearls
only
like,
know.
oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
No.
Yes. Let you be a leader. Let you have a whole master's degree, PhD, but you at home dealing with what?
Dealing with who?
What? Who did what to you?
You was with
What
where?
is
Oh
happening?
yeah, no.
Yes. Like,
Yeah,
makes
no.
you look crazy
It does. It does.
because,
And that's
you know.
another thing I get not sharing it. And then sometimes I had to look at myself and reflect for me, why is this um okay, besides me protecting myself, right? But why is it that I am so ashamed of this or feel like this is so bad? And so when a situation similar or kind of like that happened with me, I had to reflect on the overall picture. It wasn't good at all. Not just to not tell the people at work, but I didn't want to tell anybody half of it. You know what I'm saying? So it
Oh
made me
yeah.
kind of think
Yeah.
like, it ain't just because you're trying to be professional. This ain't right. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? You need to
Well, that's
probably
a hell
look
of a
something with
reality
this.
check right there. Yes. Because the relationships you have outside of work, you should feel excited about. Like you want to tell all the girl, I get it. No, I get
Yes.
that one. Because I
Yes.
could tell you some stuff too.
And it's one
Um,
thing, like you said, to say something like, "Oh, what are you doing this weekend?" "Oh, I'm just spending time with family," versus, "What are you doing this weekend?" "Well, I can't do nothing this weekend because he done took the kids and we arguing and he done changed the lot. Or he's
ah,
my mama. You know what I'm saying?
girl,
Versus,
we can take a step further. He done stole the couch out of my house, and
you know
he.
what I'm saying?
What
So
was you
then it's
doing
like
last night? I'm tired because he's sleeping on my porch, wouldn't leave. Like,
he's been calling me all night. The police have been to and you will
oh my
have
god,
colleagues that do that though. And it's like, girl,
yes,
now you shouldn't have told these people that. Why you
you
tell them
cannot,
that? Because
you
again,
cannot.
I try to remain unjudgmental as well because I know lives. Like
Yeah,
nobody's above things happening. Especially like we don't always we're not always able to pick who our family is. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
you have those family members like, ah, my goodness, here he or she goes
yeah,
again. But for the people that share all of that, you don't have to share that.
No, you don't. But let me take a step back. You said I try not to be judgmental, but don't you judge a little? Just saying.
I try. Then I have to. This is what I do. I'll say like, now why they say that, or how you gonna be going through that, and you sitting up here supposed to be teaching us this, or you supposed to be leading us or whatever. Then I'll be like, you know what? You cannot judge because
You
if
cannot.
you know some of the stuff that was happening
Yes.
in your video.
Listen. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. So you cannot listen, personal life be life, and it is what it
It
is.
does.
We
It
all be
does.
going through some stuff, but at the end of the day, you cannot share it with your colleagues because
Do
they will
not.
use that to
Do
judge
not.
you.
Do
And
not.
I would even go further as to say, don't share your mental health struggles. Don't tell people
Hell
you're
no.
depressed, that you got anxiety, you got bipolar. Like, don't tell them people that they will use it against you. Don't tell them about your financial struggles.
No.
It's none of their business. Your family drama, and I would even say, don't even talk about your health issues unless it requires an accommodation and they need to know about it.
No. Don't say
Otherwise,
any of that.
none of
None
their
of that.
business. So anything that could be perceived as a distraction from work is none of their business. So those are the 5 strategies for lying to them people at work. And I suggest you lie to them all the time. Lie to her, lie to him, lie to the people every day, all the time. Lie to them people. That's the best advice I can give you because listen, you tell the people the truth if you want to. Good luck.
Everybody in the office is going to know.
They
You will
will.
definitely be judged, and you will definitely be evaluated on your personal life versus your actual performance in your position.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Your performance evaluation will reflect these items, whether they say it or not, but they are using those things to determine whether or not you are A, capable of doing your job, and B, a good fit for the
Yep.
organization.
Yep.
So you gotta watch out for that. That was good.
It was.
It was. And listen, we could just keep going and going and going, but we have to save some for our next podcast. So we are going to go ahead and let y'all go for the rest of your time. I'm going to go ahead and sign off today. Um, any final words, Letitia?
No, just keep that fire going.
Just keep that fire going. Yes, yes, yes.